Cool. Well, I'm live here today to answer some of your questions. I've got a couple people coming into the Zoom room now. If you're watching here on YouTube and you want to join, just drop it in the comments and I can send you the Zoom link and you can come on and help answer any questions you got around acquisitions, people, hiring. This is going to be more kind of like a call-in style than other stuff in the chats. Yeah. Hey, Ryan. Hey, I emailed you a link. Ryan, check your email. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on? How are you?
No, pretty good. Yeah, I set up this whole like recurring room thing, and the whole thing just like would not work.
How life always pieces together.
That's how it goes, right? But cool. Yeah. So you got a new potential shop you're looking at?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm putting these AirPods in, make sure it's all good. But yeah, I got a. It now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, cool. So there's a spot that I wouldn't say physically the business is kind of ready for it, but I think the opportunities are always there. So it's like if you miss on the opportunities, sure, there's always going to be more and whatnot. But I also think it's good for me to learn and go through the process of understanding how it works, going through the process, trying to sell or finance. The guy's trying to retire. The 4-bay shop, good area on the other side of town. And yeah.
So you're looking at buying the business and the real estate?
No, the business itself. So the landlord was renting. It's been rented to 2 different automotive shops over the last 45 years. The last 5 years was to a separate shop. Their lease expired, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or whatnot. And the owner wants to just sell the property itself.
Okay, so just the real estate. And would it be a second location for you, or would you move your current one there?
Yeah. No, it would be. I would say a second location. I still have 2.5 years left on this lease. But realistically, he's older. He wants to retire. I think he bought it around 35, 40 years ago. So obviously, his tax bill is going to be pretty big. On depending on how much he actually purchased it for. I have to do a little bit more digging on it. But I'm meeting with him next Monday, and my father's also interested in kind of collabing and buying any sort of opportunity or whatnot, so that could also give me some extra leverage, you know what I mean?
Got it. And do you have a purchase price yet, or any ballpark of how much he wants?
Yeah, at one point, it's listed for 1.1 million. It's got, I think, 25 parking spots, 4-bay shop, basic showroom, not anything crazier. It's on a corner lot, downtown area.
Okay. And your goal is to try to get this potentially seller financed?
Yeah, 100%. The only real opportunity for me, or even action plan on it, would be seller financing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Talking to them. I mean, I'm paying $14,000 of rent in my building right now. You know what I mean? So it's if I could build that towards equity, in my own piece of property, no matter how it was acquired on the seller financing side. But obviously, you can get unique. So.
Yep. Yeah, so here's kind of how I think through it. So he's asking 1.1. You said he bought it 20 or 20, 30, 40 years ago. Do you know if he has any debt now?
Yep. I don't know. I haven't. He's on vacation.
Yep.
He comes back on this Monday is the first time I'm meeting with him. It's off market currently as well.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so if he doesn't have any debt, I mean, that makes seller financing a lot more viable option. If he does have debt, his is going to need to get paid off when you close. So that's really going to be the biggest, indicator of if it's possible or not. So let's assume it is. Mm-hmm. There's a couple ways that I think about it. First is what would your traditional payments be? So if you said, all right, I'm going to have to put, I don't know, 20% down, and traditional mortgage, so that would be $220K. So your loan amount would be what, 4? I'm just doing a little Excel magic here. Actually, I'll share my screen on the Zoom too. Let's just see Chrome Q&A. Here we go. There we go. Hopefully this all technically does not break my stuff here.
Yep.
So he's doing 880. So current rates right now are about 6%. You should be able to get a 25-year AM from a bank. And so so this is bank option. Let's just move the down payment over here, and then your payment. Do you know what the payment would be? If not, I'll just do this.
No.
Yeah, so it's payment times this times 12. See this, and then minus this. So you have $5,700 a month. 50 approximately is what your payment would be, which is pretty good,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so then you're kind of like, if you're gonna do a seller financing, it's got to kind of make sense for him. And so
Yep.
there's a couple different ways, to look at this. One is, do you have a certain number that you can put down, or like what would be your max that you could put down on it?
I could probably put $100,000 to $150,000 cash down, I would say.
Okay, so we'll put 100 because you're gonna want some working capital, and you're probably gonna need to buy equipment
Yeah.
and like some other stuff. So you don't want to like put it all in. So the one option, right, is you price it somewhat similar to what the bank would be. So in this case, the offer could be, hey, $100,000 down, and call it $6,500 a month for whatever period you can really get. Now you could amortize it over like a bank does. You could amortize it to say, hey, we're going to amortize this over 25 years, but then have a balloon payment in 5 years. And so because the way my goal is, at least, and I don't know for you, it's like you just want to get in there, you want the thing to start making money, and then once it's making money, then it's easier to go to a bank and get a longer term financing deal on it. Do you know what some of the key points to him are going to be? Have you think through it?
I don't. I don't have any info on him at all or anything. So it's kind of like the hardest part is, I guess he's been on vacation.
Yeah. I mean for seller financing,
info.
like what's going to be your pitch of why he should do this option?
Oh, I mean, my thought process, and like I said, fully brand new on it, is realistically, I would not be opposed as well to even, like, I don't think he's going to be interested in a 25-year term on anything. Obviously, with the balloon payment and whatnot is an option, but I think it's almost got to make sense for him in the way on the tax side. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know the logistics from where, if he's going to be, depending on his purchase price, right? Let's say he bought it for $500,000, whatever it was. Obviously, his tax he's going to have to pay on that is going to have to be up front on his selling time. And I mean, if I can, it's going to be hard to find a buyer for the building too, based on like the kind of the area, compared to everything else. But I mean, I feel like the tax side is going to be everything.
Yeah. So kind of for him, like, what are the benefits to him? Like, why would he do it? Number one, it's well, like you said, it could be a quicker sale.
Sure.
Because it has to go with you. He could potentially get a higher price. So, maybe instead of a 1-1, maybe you could potentially, it could be like 1-2.
Sure.
And maybe your payments, $7,000 a month instead of $6,500. Maybe it's, a slightly higher interest rate. These are kind of like, you've got all these things to negotiate on. In theory, you could extend term out to be whatever you want. So quicker sale, potentially higher price, potentially deferred taxes. So this is like the big one, where he's only going to pay income. He's only going to pay capital gains on what the percentage of principal that he collects each year. So in theory, if it was a 10-year note, and this isn't how it works, but he would pay 10% per year, right? So he gets to spread it out. Now, with how a mortgage works, though, is the opposite of that, where it's heavy interest in the front. So in the beginning, his tax bill would be very low, and then over time, it builds. And then he also gets the interest income, right? And it's like he instead of getting rent now every month, he gets a $7,000 check from you. And people they a lot of for a lot of them, like they like the recurring revenue side of it, and so those are going to be kind of the selling points. Obviously, he's got to trust you, like he's got to like you and trust you and think you're not some like but you're a likable guy, so I think you should be fine.
Hopefully, we'll find out. But my biggest thing, I guess, on this, I see the variables obviously that you can tweak and change. What about like a lot of your deals where a lot of them were amortized and then had that balloon payout? Was that kind of how you structured a lot of them? Because I feel like my thought process, I feel like he's not even thinking 30 years. He's in his retirement stages, whether he's, who knows, 50, 60, 70. I think the last thing he's thinking is 20, 30 years out. You know what I mean?
And that's okay. That's just an amortization. So you can just put a balloon payment. All that does is lower your payment.
up front.
Up front, yeah. Because otherwise, if you said, "Hey, I'm going to amortize this over 10 years," I mean, your payment would be 12 grand a month.
Sure.
And you don't really. I mean, maybe you'd be fine with that. But I would be on the side of pick the number that you think you can afford, and then we can back into that. So what would you want it to be? Like your.
I mean, to be honest with you, in my head, if I'm paying I'm paying almost $13,000 of rent over here now. I wouldn't mind paying 12. I wouldn't mind paying 12. You know what I mean? But that's just my current situation now. Obviously, you want it to be as least up front. I think he's thinking 5, no longer than 5 to 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would amortize. So what I would do is I would amortize it over longer. So if you're good with a longer term, I'd put a longer term on it and then just have a balloon payment on what he's comfortable at. Maybe it's 5 years, and then maybe it's 7.
Sure.
And then at that point, you might, if he likes it, he may want to extend it, or you can renegotiate at that point. But on his side, he's still going to mortgage on the property. He's got a personal guarantee for you. If I'm him, I'm also getting a lien on your existing business, and so he doesn't have a lot of downside if he doesn't have something else he has to pay off, or if his thing is less than 100 grand. So plus, like, is he listed with a broker?
Yes.
Okay, so the broker's going to have to get paid. They're normally like 3 or maybe 4%. So we'll call it 40 grand. So that's probably what a lot of your down payment would go towards.
And sometimes, like, you get a little unique on things depending on the process of, obviously not this case scenario, but when you pitch someone on the seller financing, you kind of also pitch in there that 2, 3, 4, 5% of that fee that he would have paid as well. Not on this deal specifically, but in general, or not really sometimes.
Not mine. A lot of mine have there's been no brokers involved.
Of course.
But yeah, that would be, if he didn't already engage a broker, that would be, hey, part of this is like, you don't need that fee because, we're going direct. And speed and confidentiality. And it's a little bit different when you're buying a business versus the real estate. So, but cool, man. Good. Well, let me know how it goes after you talk to him.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm seeing him next Monday.
Awesome. Cool. And I'll see you probably at 4:30, right? You'll be.
Yep.
All right. See you then. Cool. Hey, I guess Michael Mead, you want to go next?
Yeah,
just
sure,
quick introduction on yourself too, just so I'm,
yeah.
the context.
So I'm based out of Nashville, Tennessee. Background is in real estate, and then prior to then is CPA and CFO, so more numbers oriented. Kind of nerding out seeing you jump around in that Excel sheet. So, so I'm looking at a franchise, so I have no franchise experience.
Okay.
But there's 5 Crumble Cookie franchises for sale in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I only have 23, 24, and 25 financials.
Okay. That's pretty good though.
And they seem all right. It seems that they're asking like a 3.5 multiple, I think.
Okay.
But they've got a lot of ad backs, so they're we need some due diligence through there. They just sent me, and I haven't even had a chance to dive into them, the monthly 2026 numbers through May. And at a quick glance, it does look like revenue and gross profits down 20%. So that's kind of I know that's another thing I got to look down, but I just wanted to mention it because it does matter. But my real question was, I don't have any experience with this. It's in the food industry. It's about 4 hours away from where I live. I do know another operator that has, I think, 7 locations of these, some in his backyard and some 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And he lives in Nashville, and these are in Chattanooga. And he's open to doing some sort of partnership where he runs the stores, and I just kind of become, I don't want to say that we're passive, but
you're like the money partner.
Right. Be a partner, and he's managing the day to day. Or we put someone in place, but he at least oversees more than I normally would. And he's got experience with what works and what doesn't.
What's approximate, like what's the profit with the ad back stuff, and what's the asking price?
So let me pull it up.
Actually, I might go over here.
Through 2025, they're advertising really just under $1 million of earnings. I think they're asking.
That's 5 stores?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
They're asking about 3.5, so it really is about a 3.5 multiple.
Got it. Okay. And what's the revenue?
Pull that up. So through like year to date or 2025 full year financials revenue were about 4.3.
4.3 million.
Yeah, gross profit of call it 2.2.
Okay. So per store, let's see. So a lot of times when you look at these multi-unit deals, you break them down per, I like to break them per store.
Oh yeah.
Just to get a ballpark. So revenue 4.3, so it's 860,000 a store, 440 in gross profit. And then they're making about 200K per store. And then asking 700K per store. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And so what do you, I guess the question is like, would I do this deal? What should you consider? I mean, what are you looking for? I guess.
Yeah, I guess just your thought process on a new venture in a market far away, and then that you don't have any experience in, and then
What do you do now for work?
full-time real estate investing. So a lot of rentals, do some flips,
Okay.
multifamily,
Yeah, so you
commercial
got
type
like
stuff.
flexibility in your schedule and stuff.
I do.
What's your goal? Like, if is this like a path to something else? Like, why is this important to you right now?
Just the cash flow it could generate. Real estate is not as steady or consistent or great cash on cash returns. So this would be a great,
Got it. Okay.
or in theory, this would be just a cash flow.
Yep. What would be your partner's split on it?
My thought would be, it'd be something along the lines of 75-25 my way until I recruit my capital or the initial debt's paid off. And then I'd be open to it becoming much more favorable if he's put it in sweat equity amongst those terms.
Yeah. So here's how I would think about it. First is like trying to get an idea of like ballpark what the cash flow would be. So if we said you'd probably, so it's asking 3.5, you'd probably have to put 10% down, I'd guess, maybe a little bit more. It depends if like you're going conventional or SBA.
Right.
So maybe that's down, right? So if you got a down payment, then your loan's going to be 3.5 minus that. Your payment ballpark is going to be let's see. So if you Excel magic here, PMT, you take your interest rate. You probably know this, but for anybody else watching, divided by 12, and then you do your term in years. So we get number of months, and then we get our debt amount, which would be this. So you'd have like a $36,000 per month debt. So annualized, let's see, you're at that times 12, so 400,000. So if we'd say like, kind of like op cash flow, it would be, we got $1 million of add backs minus that, so you're at 500K, right? And then you'd have, you would definitely need, I would guess that add backs include like their general manager and such. Is that right?
So yeah, from my understanding, he's actually the current owner is pretty involved, and so I think we'd even have to hire one.
Yeah. So you need a
I think
GM. So call that
Yeah.
$80,000.
Okay.
Right. And so now our cash flow is down to 584, and then you've got like a 70% split, and so we're taking that times 75. So now you're at, call it 360,000 before taxes and other stuff, right? Just ballpark at least like in your mind how you kind of thought about it.
That's exactly the numbers I've ran.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so that's the first thing I do is like, all right, it looks pretty on the thing, but then what's it actually look like after we get in there? We take, to take everything out of it. I mean, personally, like I would not do this deal for, I guess, a couple of reasons. One, the distance really does matter. So you're 4 hours away, like it's going to be a drag to get there and back. And so you're really not it's going to be really hard for you to like operationally be involved behind the spreadsheets and stuff, which for these businesses, like, I don't know, like they're like people-based businesses, right? Like people go in, they have a good experience, they come back. And so like a lot of these are like hands-on. Those are the ones that can do really well. And so really, I mean, it's more of like you're a financial investor is kind of your position, but you're taking on 100% of the liabilities. You're the one signing the lease. You're the one signing the franchise agreements and all this stuff. If you wanted to do it, if I was going to do it, I'd flip it around the other way to say, hey, this guy's already a franchisee. and let's go have him buy these things and personally guarantee the notes and like do all that, and then maybe you find a way that you would loan him money, or you would not have as much downside, because right now you have all the downside on this thing, and I mean the upside, like there would be better opportunities elsewhere, I guess is my take. Also, revenue per store is pretty low. I want to say Crumbles like do like 1.2, 1.5, like you would have to compare this to what the average is, but these aren't like strong performing stores.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of like, it's like, what's it for you, right? And that's why I was like back to like, and if you're like, hey, my goal is like, I want another cash flowing, like I want another vehicle that I can drive a ton of cash flow, and owning franchises is an amazing opportunity to do that. But a lot of it it's when you get in there and you actually like do the work, and you know, you build the teams, and like you're looking for deals. And if you're really good at real estate and finding stuff like in your home market where you already know the players, like you already know what strip centers and neighborhoods you want to be in, like you're gonna have such a better advantage in your hometown with the relationships that you've already got, that like a possibly better approach is you'll find an opportunity that you can grow where you live, and all your brain power and expertise and relationships can pour into it, and then you own 100% of it, and because you don't need this other guy, because like you're there. And I mean that's what I would do.
Gotcha. All right.
So,
I appreciate the feedback.
Franchises aren't great as like the way that you're looking at it, to be totally honest. I've seen a lot of guys do this where there's like a money partner and an operating partner, and almost always they fail, just because they're just too small, and there's too many factors that go on. Because what happens is like, so you do this thing and then you put in the money, but you're not there because you're 4 hours away. He knows the business really well, but then like, you know, you hit a tough point or things aren't where they need to be. He's saying, hey, we need to hire more people, and you kind of control the money. So you're like, well, I don't want to hire people until I see X, Y, and Z. But then it's like, it becomes this like chicken and the egg, and there becomes like this conflict between like the money and the ops, because just there's these varying factors, and it's not as clean as real estate is sometimes.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, where do you live?
I live near Clarksville, Tennessee, which is
Okay.
like an hour north of Nashville.
Okay. Yeah, if anything, I'd like, Nashville's great, right? If anything you could find like in Nashville or north of Nashville, like great market, growing, like that's where I'd be looking pretty hard down there.
Gotcha.
Or if you love Crumble, just start cold calling all the Crumble franchisees that live or have stores there. You can get them from the FDDs, and like,
Yeah.
and then you can get into it that way. So,
Gotcha.
but go in. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
You got it. Kareem, you wanna go next?
Hey, what's up, Brian? Kareem from Raleigh, North Carolina. I currently own a Little Caesars franchise, looking to boost my sales so I could sell it. So I used to own two. I sold one in 2024. And so, Mike, yeah, I would say I live about an hour and 10 minutes away from my unit, and I would say if I would have had to do it over again, I would not be an hour away. So 4 hours, that's no joke.
An hour and 10 minutes, to the T. It's not an hour, it's an hour and 10.
Yeah.
You probably hate doing that drive every time you do it. I could tell.
Yeah. So just listen to what Brian was saying. Yeah. Food, and I think Crumble is having a lot of changes with dessert, but food is no joke. So my goal is to boost my sales this year. I think gas prices really wasn't good to us, and kind of reduce some of our traffic, and we've been trying to focus on more like catering sales. We just had somebody buy like 4 or 5 stores around us. We like sit in the middle of those stores. So our goal was always, when we took it over in 2022, to get the sales up and then sell it. So
to the guy that sell it to the guy who owns 4 or 5 around you.
Yep, he just bought They just bought them 2 weeks ago. So
Oh, good. It's good for you. Or it should be good for you.
They
Hopefully.
just didn't call us. They didn't call us, but I was surprised. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
So how much are you doing in revenue?
we're doing about 11,000 in weekly sales right now.
Okay.
When we took over the store, it was doing about 6,000 in 2022. So we got the sales up, just not where we wanted to be.
And what's the profit?
We're like break even right now.
Got it. Okay. And what's your goal for, I guess, revenue or the profit?
Our goal is, man, we hit like 12 like this year, 12,000 in sales a week. I mean, our goal is 15,000. I know it's that's a long shot, but that's the goal. That's what we always try to shoot for.
And how much are you trying to sell for?
We have it on the market for $199 currently.
Okay. And have you talked to the guy who just bought the 4 or 5 yet?
I'm about to call him today. I just got his number.
Okay.
Just got his number. So
yeah, because that would be the first. I mean, that would be the first thing I would do if it was me. Like, I mean, you've been at this for 4 or 5 years, right? And it's kind of like, I don't know. It sounds like you're kind of running out of gas on it. And it can be frustrating when it's like, it just feels like you're grinding. I bet you're putting a lot of effort into it, and it's just tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give him a call, and do you have any debt on it?
Some small debt, probably like less than like 50 grand.
Okay. Because the other option, we talking about the seller finance thing, is you could potentially go in reverse on it, where you say, hey, here's what I need, right? You want like maybe a down payment. Here, we could just like we'll flip it around here. Hold on, let me get my thing up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so debt in reverse. So you're asking 199, right? And you're going to need to cover your down payment and some other stuff. So maybe you ask for 75K down, and you give them like, I don't know, eight years, maybe like 7%. I don't know, maybe 6.5. Let me just play with the numbers a little bit. Yeah, you could potentially try to. I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for and kind of what's kind of like the bare minimum side of it. But like, let's say you could get 75K down, 124. You offer it at 7% for 5 years. He makes a $2,500 a month payment.
It's not bad.
Like, would you take that deal?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I would kind of like at least have in your back pocket. You may want to not tell him up front, but like if he just bought the stores, he just extended a bunch of cash. He just got a loan probably. He just extended a bunch of cash. The bank's not going to loan him more money, more stuff. Is the debt tied to the business? Or is it your debt personally?
No.
Okay.
No. So one is like we have a silent partner. He gave us like a $15,000 line of credit.
Yeah.
And then there's some expenses that we have that we probably loan the business. So of course we're trying to get some back. But yeah, I always thought about, hey, this business, because it's not a premium store.
Yep.
We're probably gonna have to hold some paper, which we're open to do that.
Yep. Yeah. So then that gives you some more flexibility. If I don't know, let's say like you could do 35K down, and maybe this is where you can kind of play with the numbers a little bit, because maybe you take less of a down payment, but then what I like to look is like the total payments to you. So it would be so we're gonna like play with these numbers a little bit. Times 60 plus the down payment. So on one option is like you just get 199, right? And like the total payment's 199. Another option that we first said was like 75K down. Hold on, I messed this up. So it's going to be total payments would be $2,500 a month times 12 months times 5 years plus your down payment. So 225. Another version could be like less of a down payment, so maybe 25K down. But maybe you can get like a little bit more in the interest, and maybe say, hey, 3,500 is that's kind of like a high number that maybe they wouldn't want to pay. So you just extend the term. So
that's right.
If you drop it to 8 years or something, there you go. So like 25K down, and you pay me let's call it $2,500 a month for the next 8 years. For you, total payments are going to be $261,000. versus, 222,000, obviously over 5 years, like, it takes a little bit longer to get your money versus, 199 if you just like got a check.
That's right. On top of we bought the store for a low price, so we probably, if we took all cash, we're probably gonna have some capital gains, unless, well, we have some losses too that might eat it up. But
yeah,
the down payment and the payments over time might work tax wise.
Yep. So anyway, that's like, that would be my first goal. So if it's like you want to get it out, these guys just moved in the market, to buy 4 or 5 stores at once, they definitely probably have some money behind them. If you go to them with a creative offer like this, that's saying, hey, I've been this a while, I'm looking to get out. Other goals in life, whatever you want the frame to be. And here's what I can offer. I would probably start in the like 75-ish K down. I would probably start with like this deal just because, like, to help you get some cash. But then you should kind of know, like, on the back end what your, like, what your minimum would be.
That's right.
And then if none of that works, or if they're like, hey, it's not ready yet, or like you have some sort of like, we need to get the sales to X amount of dollars. Maybe it's like you said, maybe you want to get it to 12, 13, 14K a week. But, if they're looking to get out, I mean, that'd be your easiest route.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
So,
man.
no problem. Cool. And, well, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Zach, do you want to go?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. I think this is super awesome, by the way, that you're doing this. I guess I'm in a little bit of a different boat than these guys. Not really looking at a franchise. I currently am going on 3 years at my small auto shop that I started 3 years ago. Up until 8 months ago, it was just myself working it, and I've since then hired 3 full-time employees. So I have a service writer now and then 2 full-time technicians. With that being said, it just kind of gives me a lot more free time. I'm actually not working at the shop every day. I'm more so just working on the business, which is super cool change of life, or more so change of pace. I'm kind of trying to venture and just try to figure out what my next move is really. Right now, with it being just a 2-base shop, I mean, I feel like we've kind of hit a ceiling as far as how much work we can put out. We do also offer like mobile services as well, so we're kind of doing a little bit of both in shop.
Okay. How much are you doing in revenue?
So I'm actually looking at my QuickBooks right now. So we took in 32,000 last 30 days, and we've spent 30,000. So I mean, not crazy. That is after payroll and everything, and taxes and whatnot. So I mean, I'm barely paying myself. I mean, it's really just 2K profit.
Yeah.
It's obviously between different months. I mean, it's anywhere from 1 to 5K roughly.
Got it. Okay.
We do have about 18,000 in debt from a small business loan I took to purchase the lifts and AC machines, etc.
Does that include paying yourself a salary?
So that does, for out of the expenses.
Yeah.
Yes, I pay myself anywhere from. I'm basically just doing owner draws right now. So whenever I need cash, I just kind of draw it out. So it does include that.
So how much was that last month?
Last month was about 2,200.
22. Okay, so you took a 2,200K draw plus the 22K in profit.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. How many cars a month are you doing?
So we use Autoleap. I don't know if you've used
I've heard of
before. So we're doing about 22 a week. So about, I want to say 60 to 90 cars a month at least on average.
Okay, so 22 times 4, so call it 80. So 32K. I'm just like ballpark numbers here. 80. Okay, so your average ticket's like $400 bucks.
You got it, dude. Autoleap says it's like 280, just probably due to a lot of oil changes, etc. A lot of diags, whatever you want to call it.
Got it. Okay. And what's your role? Like, are you a manager, or did you just like buy this thing, or are you a tech? Like, what's the?
So I've been a tech for the last 8 years, and just kind of started this out of a van about 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm the sole owner. My role now is basically just kind of overseeing, I guess, manager. I'm just the owner, I guess you could look at it. Basically, my day-to-day work is just I I go in a couple days throughout the week and just problem solve. So if the techs have an issue with the car, I'm kind of the
Yep.
guy that will
Okay.
kind of be able to fix it for him. You know what I mean? Or just
Got it.
making sure they have
And-
supplies and everything needed.
Okay. So I guess a couple things. Is your goal to make more money out of this, or a goal to like what to do with your time?
Well, it's so the location that this is at currently is just too good to turn up, and I've talked with other people and they're saying, hey, maybe it's time to move into a bigger space. I mean, realistically, it's about 1,800 square feet. It's got the office, it's got everything we need for 2 bays. It's got two flat bays as well. But I'm only paying, it's like $1,500 a month with utilities and everything included.
Yeah.
So it's like a really, really good price, super low overhead. And I don't want to move out of this. I kind of want to just capitalize on this.
Do you mind giving me the address? I can look it
Yep.
up.
It's
Hold on, let me just get Google up. All right, what's the address?
4925
Yep.
Coye, Coye Drive, Stevens Point. First one right there.
Wisconsin. Okay.
And the address, it's going to be that Stevens Point Mobile Mechanic. It's kind of tucked in the back a little
Okay,
bit.
so you're like an industrial
Park, basically. Yeah, we do
Okay.
have our sign on the front road.
on Coy
Which,
here.
I mean, yep. Yeah, you got it.
What do you do for marketing?
Mainly right now, just Facebook and some meta ads, posting in local groups, etc.
Okay.
It's tough. We're in Wisconsin, so actually, the main road will be Hoover Road,
yeah.
which would be right over. So we get about 15,000 cars that drive past the sign every day, roughly, according to the last survey. So
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there is actually where the sign is that we have.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, and then you're back here. Looks like.
Yep, you got it.
Got it. Cool. All right. Yeah. So a couple things.
It's tough, I know.
I would spend more of your time in the shop to make more money. I guess is the first thing I'd say.
Sure.
Your average ticket's pretty low, to be totally honest with you. 220, like you're gonna really want to shoot for like 400, something in that range. So if in theory, if you're doing 80 cars, at $400, I'm not great at math, but it's what's that going to be? 36,000. Hold on a second. Let's
I
just
can pull a calculator.
32.
32. Yeah, so your numbers are a little off. Like we're a
and
little
that's-
off on either the cars or the things, but either way, if it's 280, you really want to look to find a ways to drive that higher.
Sure.
So I would look at the last couple months. I would target that, if not higher. A couple ways you can do that. One is like looking at labor rates. What do you charge now?
We're at 95 an hour.
Oh boy, you can go a lot higher. It's good.
We do 125 for the mobile.
I'd go
but
higher.
what we do in exchange is so we take the labor rates from like all data, and we just kind of add an hour to each job essentially, just to kind of make it a little bit more accurate to the actual amount of time taken.
And how do you pay your techs? Like,
They're all hourly.
and how much do they make?
My lead tech's at 27, my loop tech's at 20, and then my service writer's at 14.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, the challenge is, if you're charging, let's say $100 an hour, and your tech's at, let's call it 27 an hour, you're not selling 100%. Like this is billed hour, right? Not worked hour.
you
But
got
this
it,
is
yep.
paid worked hour. So you're effectively selling like a lot less. Like I would bet if you took your total labor sales, you divided by like worked hours, I would guess that you're collecting somewhere around like $60-ish, 65 an hour.
You're probably right at that, because I mean, just looking at the last 2 weeks, I mean, if both the techs worked 80 hours the last 2 weeks, we're definitely not billing 80 hours, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not.
Yeah. So a good model is here. I'll just I'll kind of show you how we model it out, and then you can like reverse engineer
Sure.
to what it is, and then you can go from there. So you said you had 27, 20, and 40. And they all let's just say they all work. For a second, hold on. So we
It's about
have 27, 20, and 14, and they all work like 40 hours roughly.
Yep.
Okay. So I'd figure out payroll. So it's about about $2,400 a week.
Yep. About
Okay.
5,200 every 2 weeks. Yep.
Okay. Times 2. Okay, so 5,200. Okay. And so, all right. So payroll is you said 5,200 every 2 weeks, right? So
Right,
5,200
just
times
roughly,
times
yeah.
4 or times 2. So you're running about 10,000 a month.
Yep.
All right. Do you know what your cost of goods percentage is?
I guess I don't. I do have my
That's okay.
QuickBooks pulled
That's
up.
okay. We can ballpark it. So you
Okay.
said 32,000. Your fixed costs. I'm just gonna try to back into to your numbers, and
Yeah.
then we can kind of go from there. I would guess so. Most people run about 25% here. So let's just like put in 25, and we'll just kind of see how this thing shakes out.
Sure. That sounds about right. I mean, realistic. I mean, it's
Well, that would be good. That would put us at 11,000. Yeah. Okay. I would bet it's actually probably a little bit higher. I guess you're probably 28. Okay. I don't know. You'd have to look at what your cost of goods is, but
Sure.
so let's say right now you're at it was something like this. Let's see, you're at 20% cost of goods, 33% payroll. If you're at 10,000 on, let's say 32. This is 10,000 a month in fixed, but you know, if you think through like, you know, your credit card fees, your rent, you know, your draw, all that other crap, insurance, utilities, you're probably somewhere in that range, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so there's a couple ways you want to do this. One is like you kind of want to back into like how much money do you want to make, and for most of these, like you should be around 15%. It's like a good target margin
for any business, really.
for anyone. Yep. And so what I like to do is just pretty much take this and you try to reverse it back out. And so there's a couple ways you can do it, but the easiest is like payroll is kind of a fixed cost. I would want payroll to be at 25%, if not less, because you don't really even have a manager. Like you have a service advisor, but like you don't really have a manager. Really have two techs. Like we want techs. What you really want is your two techs at like, let's call it 15% of sales, maybe 17% at a smaller location. So you take these two guys out times, let's say 4.3. So you got about $8,000 for the tech. So in your case, because you don't have that, I'd want to see like techs, let's say at 8,000, and then you've got like front shop, we'll call it at 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
And if you can get your techs around 17%, then hold on, I'm going too fast here. You want techs divided by the 17%. Oh my God, I am.
Dude, you're so quick with it too, man.
I know. I'm. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now we're set.
Okay.
So your tech payroll is somewhat fixed, right? In terms of you pay the guys hourly. So then you want to back into, well, how much money should these guys be able to produce? And if you pay them 8,000, we target our tech payroll around 15%, but there's like more of that in a smaller store. I think it's okay for it to be a little bit higher because like they have more responsibility and you want to pay them well. Yep. And so we just back into it. So this says like you should be about $47,000 a month to be able to keep it
afloat and just
kind of at the similar numbers, right? Then on the cost of goods side of it, do you sell a lot of? You probably don't sell a lot of tires, right?
We don't sell a crazy amount of tires. There's so many tire shops in town where we do sell them, we wholesale them, but we have to beat like Shirl or Pompey's or whatever it's called. So we just have a lot of competition there, and people are always price matching that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you don't sell a lot of tires, which is fine, which means your cost of goods should be lower. Like I would honestly, like I'd probably want to see around 24, 23%, something in that range. You can look it up and see, but a lot of it becomes like you have higher prices. Like you don't buy the parts any cheaper, you just sell them for more essentially.
Yep,
and you do that through your pricing, B, like having payment plans and like other things you can do to help make it affordable, and driving more revenue or labor, which doesn't have costs of goods. And then you get your front shop guy. He's at I messed his up. We said it was $14 an hour. So
yep, he's at 14. Yep.
So call it $2,500 a month. So like look at how the economics change, right? If you can get this thing to 47,000 with
Yep.
essentially paying the techs the same, and even if you had to pay them a little bit more, say let's say we had to pay him, we pay him 9,000. Oh shit, my formula is.
I can see the picture though that you're getting at here. Yeah. If we
Right.
can,
So a lot of that incremental stuff, you then just like profits 14,000 of the month, and because your fixed costs are low, this guy's low. It's a matter of like you're underpriced, and it's not like your goal should be, how do I figure out how to add so much value that we're going to continue, we can justify charging these higher prices than what you're currently doing. And almost all that money falls to the bottom line. Like you add $11,000, $15,000 in sales, you increase profit by $10,000, $12,000.
yeah,
So
that's huge.
and then like all of a sudden now you're making like $150,000 a year running this thing at like really fat margins, and you don't have like royalties, you don't have like you have tons of other like these big costs. I mean, obviously then there's this question of like, how do you get people in? It's got to be through marketing. I don't know how much you spend on Facebook and Meta and like the different stuff, but that's another angle you can look at. So I would go back and I would really look at your pricing. To a couple things. I would increase your prices like tomorrow. I'd increase your labor rate to, I don't know. You could charge you could talk around, but I would probably be kind of like a 150 range.
And it's tough because all the established shops that have been around for 15 years, that's kind of what they're at. I'm more so competing with there's another shop in town that's kind of same age as mine, about 2-3 years old. He's actually at 75 right now, so I kind of priced to kind of match him, beat him a little bit on that. Obviously I can't work for 75 an hour. I don't know how he does it, honestly.
Yeah, so don't care about. I wouldn't care about that. Like no one's like, I don't know. At least in my mind, no one's like, let me get this like rubrics out that shows how long people have been in business times like number of this and that.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing is like, especially in our business, it's trust based and it's reputation based, and it's like, are people going to trust that you're going to take care of them? You're going to do it right. You're going to give them a fair price. Like they're not going to have to come back. And
Exactly.
I mean, you have great reviews on Google. You're 5 stars. You're 47. You could probably get a couple more reviews, but I would think about it more not as like that, but more from like the customer's point of view. Where if you're getting calls and you give them a great service, like you can justify
Charging a little bit more for it, yeah.
But then you think about it, like what's your average? How many hours do you normally charge on a ticket? It's probably like 1, right? Maybe.
For the most part, 1 to 3 probably.
Yeah, so like you're talking another 50. I mean, I'm talking like $50 more, and it's like, are you going to lose a job over $50? Like probably not.
Yeah.
And so I would not care. I don't care what anybody else charges. What I think about is, can we deliver great service? Can we say yes? Can we get people in and out quickly? Like if they have a problem, they trust that we're going to take care of it. Like that's how I think through pricing, not what like anybody else does. I mean, our position is like, we actually want to be on the higher side. Like we would rather be like, we're trying to set the pace rather than like fall to the pace. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%.
But then it's really hard. Like it's hard to hire good techs. It's hard to keep afloat. Like if you're not there. So anyway.
And no, that makes total sense. And I guess the big reason I was kind of reaching out to you, so over the 4th of July weekend, I actually went up north, and I went to this super small town. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away from me. And I asked the question at this bar. I said, hey, are there any shops around here that are closing down? And I found that there is a shop that's been around for 40 years. The owner is thinking about retiring. And I'm wondering if it's too early to even dabble in thinking about pursuing a shop, I guess, at this point. Because right now, I mean, this shop does profit. I mean, I'm not really at the shop often. The system's already set up to where the 2 techs and the service writer, they kind of have it all floating. Yes, I don't have enough profit. I'm not cash flowing a shit ton. I'm still in debt a little bit because we're not cash flowing enough. But in my mind, with this ceiling of only having the 2 bays there and then some mobile repairs here and there, I'm wondering if it's like, hey, if I can, figure out how to seller finance this other shop, I mean, am I going to be able to make more monthly because, you know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah, no, it's
kind of
good. I mean,
trying to figure out.
I get that. I would like really get your first one cranking before I would think about
Okay.
another one, because like you should be making a lot more. Like the two bays doesn't matter. I mean, I know guys that are in like that do like 150 grand, 200 grand out of two bays.
Really?
The space isn't. I mean, yes, it is more challenging, but they overcome that by they have a better process for getting cars in and out. Like they're more efficient. They'll tag team cars. Like they say yes to every single like phone call that comes in versus, oh, like, no, we're all tied up. Jimmy's tied up now for the next 2 days on this thing. And like, they have a way of like getting the cars in, inspecting them, selling the work, get the customer out of here, like buy time once you got it. Like
Gotcha.
there is definitely way more capacity than what you're currently doing. But it sounds like you're not there maybe a ton. So like what I would probably do is maybe you spend like, I don't know, if it was me, like I'd probably be there every day for the next couple like weeks and like really push the guys to see what's possible. So you
Okay.
do this by you answering every single phone call, you telling every single car, like, come on in, and like, get people rides home if they have to, and really push it to like break your own, like, what's the best month you've ever had?
It was about 55.
Yeah. Just maybe did you make some good money that month?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably made real good money that month. You probably, 15 grand, I bet.
I think it changed a little bit just adding 2 more people to the team. I mean, that really, cut into the overall profits, but
still,
obviously
like
you have to do
these, a lot of our businesses have way more capacity and way more opportunity than what we think they do. And a lot of it is like, once you break that limiting belief, then you really dive into it and you figure out how do we keep pushing the envelope on our pricing, deliver great service, and get your thing. Like I would, if this thing was making 10K a month, like month in and month out, and you weren't there that much, I would say, yeah, go ahead and like go after that next deal. But
until it gets to that point,
your
focus
your
on this
margins
one.
are just too thin. If somebody quits or something happens, like you're gonna be right back in it.
Yep.
And it sounds like you obviously got good technical background. Like you can help these guys like fix anything. So, but yeah, cool. Well, good luck with it.
Hey, Brent, I really appreciate it, man. This is a super cool experience. I
Awesome.
appreciate
Cool.
what you do.
Thanks, Zach. All right, Josh, I got time for one more here, so you're up.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I just wanted to reach out. I actually found a perfect time. I go on YouTube and I see you're on. So I have a website that is AI driven
Okay.
for free auto repair estimate. So right now, I just started it about 3 months ago. So right now I do have like a find your own parts button. I get a small commission from either Tire Rack, Amazon, or eBay.
Got it.
And I also have a partnership with Repair Power.
Yep.
So I had their network installed into my website to find shops.
Yep.
Now, how can I say? Right now, I just been pouring money into it, testing it out, make sure everything is functioning. I work in the auto industry, so as far as pricing goes, I could say they're pretty on point on what I quote customers over the counter.
Yep.
I just wanted to get your opinion on scaling up. So I do use a lot of AI. I just use it as a tool.
Yep.
But I'm trying to scale up to B2B. So business to business, I'm trying to see if you think what would be like the best way to get started into that. Like I'm trying to change up the business model. I want to get into licensing the AI and maybe trying to incorporate an API into their systems, into like shop systems.
And what would it do? Price the job?
So yeah, so I would say it would help like people, it would help shop owners have estimates created faster, just in case of, like, let's just say there's a short staff and you only have one person behind the counter.
Yeah.
If there's multiple customers, the AI could kind of help. Hey, listen, here's a price quote. You can hold on to that, and then
Got it.
by the time the person reaches the customer, they could
Yeah.
like,
No, I mean, we'd
yeah.
love it if we could just like go to voice, be like, all right, I got this Camry, it needs pads, rotors, calipers, an air filter, like the radiator, this, and this, and it could just build the estimate. I mean, that'd be sweet. The problem is, I mean, it'll get there one day. I think your challenge is going to be, you have to be able to integrate into the different point sales that people use.
Mm-hmm.
Can you now integrate with any of them?
Well, I started the process. So funny enough, the way you described the like looking for repair estimates is exactly how my AI works. You could tell it, hey, listen, my front brakes are making a whirling sound, and they'll
Yep.
say, hey, listen, you may need wheel bearings. Which me working in the auto industry, I'm like, okay, that's but yeah, you could ask it multiple things, and I'll give you different breakdowns. But yeah, it is able to integrate. So right now, I have my AI writing up a code so I can integrate it. So I'm planning the next step is approach smaller companies to kind of just build data sets so I could reach out to bigger ones. Because right now I don't have anything going on. I just started it, but I've been in the industry for so long. I just have this knowledge. I'm like, man, how can I put a service advisor in someone's pocket? So like right now I have a monthly subscription to use it. I have a plate to VIN number finder, all that stuff. So I'm just trying to scale up and get to a point where I could just live off of my company,
Yeah,
so
no,
I think
no,
like
it's good.
reaching you with the AI,
Yeah, you have two paths, right? Well, you have one is B2B, which is like, yeah, but then it's like really you got to be able to integrate with the point of sales, because that's what people already use, like Mitchell and On Demand and Our Writer and like like there's millions of them. But your challenge is going to be a lot of them are already trying to do that because the users want it, right? Like we all want to build estimates quicker in shop and AI. And so the question is like, could you get in front of one of them who either just buy your company or license it, and then like you build it internally for them? That is probably the route, because I don't think I doubt that they would want somebody else's thing doing the same thing that they're trying to do, right? Because you'd be kind of competition in that point. So it's like you would build it up, go to them, try to get them to pay you to then install it into their system. Is one of the ways I would do it or think about it. The other way would be you stick with the B2C, like consumer-driven model through affiliates. And, how much can you make off RepairPal? Like, what do they pay you?
It's a small percentage. I think like 2-3% or something like that.
Of what, the job, or what they get of what they get?
Yeah. So, I haven't right now, since I'm just up and coming. My first problem, which I'm working on, is advertising, because I got to get into the right people. But I'm just trying to prepare myself for bigger. So I'm like, you know what? That's cool. But I think the B2B will be more lucrative and better for the long run of the company. Even if I'm able to sell the company, even if I'm able to sell the business, cool, right? If I could make enough to, live off of it for a while, that's awesome. But if I could sustain it, this is how I want to make the most money. And
I got you.
Time and do what you do.
There you go.
Yeah.
So like, I think you just pick a path. I mean, honestly, I would probably go the B2C route. I would probably do the affiliate route if it was me, to be totally honest with you. I just don't. I think the Uproad battle, because you're not going to be able to go to shops, like, because even if I loved your thing, like we use Our Writer, so like you would have to integrate with Our Writer for me to use it. Otherwise, like we wouldn't have our team use like one website to like build some estimate, because then we'd have to rebuild the whole thing in our point of sale. Like it has to integrate. And so your barrier isn't the shops, but it's the people who run the point of sale systems. And then it's like, they are also trying to do the exact same thing that you're doing for their shop owners and users. Because if someone builds a really cool built-in AI, like they are going to get, it's like an arms race, right? Like if they have that, that's gonna be a marketing for them to pull other people and gain market share. So like, you're just like, they have like full-time engineers and all this stuff, like literally trying to do what you're doing, and and it's all they do. So,
and I have my website active, like everything is like online and active. I think I have a real good tool, but right now it's like just getting it to the right people and trying to find a smarter and better business model. So that's why I was also considering. I was even thinking of licensing to, like, let's say Car Shield. People are looking for warranty and they have a car problem. Maybe on the bottom. Free.
Yeah, if I'm you, I would get like really good at internet marketing. I would go after you just find other things that you could sell through your thing. So it could be an AI quote. Get a free AI quote of what you think you need. Boom, you get them over to RepairPal or someone else that gets you 3%, or maybe you try to get like a deal with like a Midas Corporate or like a Mavis or Pep Boys, and maybe instead of sending them to Repair Pal, you replace what Repair Pal does, which is all they do is send it to the shops and take a piece of it. So instead, if you say, hey, I got an estimate and it's $1,200 to replace this radiator and water pump or like whatever, and Midas will do it, and then you send it to us, like we would happily pay I don't know, like a couple points on that. So you get 30 or 40 bucks maybe, and all you're doing is just like connecting links and it's all automated. That's like an amazing business model. So I would do like marketing to get customers, to give them prices of things that they're confident with. And then you connect them to shops who are willing to do those jobs for those prices. And then, which is exactly what Repair Pal does. And Repair Pal charges like 10%, I think. It's like a really high, it's a really high number that for us is like not really worth it. Because our margins are like 15. So if we pay them 10, that's like, then we're left with 5. We make no money.
You're giving away the
But if you charge, you just undercut them and you charge 5% or 4% or something, maybe there's like a cap, so it caps out after a certain amount. Then you can go and use your technology to then get customers and put customers in shops and get a piece of it. And then maybe all those same customers who are shopping for repairs, you can also sell them the warranties through CarShield or whatever, through affiliate models, and you can make money, that way. So now so instead of like, oh, I get it. Because B2B is like really hard. Like you got to, I mean, I'm not like a B2B guy, but like B2B, like relationships and over and over and over again. And yeah, it's like higher ticket, but like it's a ton of work versus like you've already got this consumer facing thing, and just like get good at, meta ads to drive people to your thing that gets them what they need, get them into front of shops. Like we'd be like there's many shops that would be happy to take these customers if they're good with the prices, like, yeah, man, like these are good prices. We would do this job. Totally fine. So anyway, that'd be my advice.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Awesome. Appreciate your opinion, man.
You got it. Cool. Well, I'm gonna hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, I'm looking to do more of these. And if you're not on my email list, if you go to brianbeers.com, you can sign up, and usually I send these invites out via email or post them here on Instagram. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.